All right. Welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town. We hope you are enjoying your afternoon. It is a beautiful sunny day outside today here. It's Friday. We're getting closer to the weekend. And you might have some spectacular plans here coming up for the weekend, especially tomorrow with Nightmare on Chicago Street. We're very excited about that. We hope to see you there. We're going to be broadcasting live. We're hoping to get some great interviews from lots of awesome folks who are going to be coming by as well, too. So stay tuned for that. That'll be from 5 to 7 coming up tomorrow. Now, you might also want to do some other fun, relaxing, enjoyable, beautiful, musical, fun weekend activity to do on a Sunday here, which is October 27th. Well, I want to welcome here, of course, to the studio. We have Andy Lewis with us today, who's the musical director of the spectacular Elgin Master Chorale. Thanks so much for joining us today. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Matt. It's really nice to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. And I know you've been on here before a couple of years. You've done an interview with Leah. You've done an interview, I do believe, with also my dad, Uncle Gare, as well, too. So that's very nice. So tell folks a little bit, for those of you who don't know, for people watching who don't know about the Elgin Master Chorale, what you have to offer.
Well, the Elgin Master Chorale is a large symphonic-sized chorus. We are the oldest performing arts organization in the Fox Valley, and it's a group of really amazing people, excellent singers, and it's a volunteer group largely, but it is auditioned, and we achieve professional level performance. And I am so grateful to our singers who are so deeply engaged with the music making. It's really fulfilling, both for me, and I know it for them as well. It's a big part of our lives together.
Absolutely. So I actually used to work for the Elgin Youth Symphony Orchestra.
Oh yeah,
I did. I was a crew member, and I would help set up and get the stage all set up and ready. I would do cleaning, general things like that too. And you know, just in general, when it comes to music, it takes a lot of passion to do what you do. It takes a lot of effort and time as well. And you know, when I was with Elgin Youth Symphony Orchestra, I saw that. I saw the kids and how hard they worked. And then I even also did too, sometimes there were times when the symphony orchestra would also rehearse in certain rooms as well during those times. I would also observe that too and be like, wow, I mean, they're putting a lot of time and energy and effort into it. And you can tell that they love what they do. And that's important. When you make music like this, you get to show it to the world and express it as well. And it's good to also have meaning as well too, and recognize also some of the past musicians as well, which is what you're doing. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. The composer of the main work on our program, called the Psalms of David, is Robert Hanson. Bob has his fingerprints all over Elgin, the musical scene, deeply involved with Elgin Youth Symphony, Elgin Choral Union, which is what we used to be called. We're now the Elgin Master Chorale, the Elgin Children's Chorus, and of course, longtime music director of the Elgin Symphony Orchestra. Without Bob's involvement here, it's difficult to see Elgin achieving the success that it has. I mean, it is known as a musical center, and arts in general, but music is so strong here, and we owe much of that to Bob.
Absolutely. That's really cool. So, I think that's great that you have these different people come together and to create such a beautiful symphony as well, too.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it does, like you were saying before, it does require a lot of effort, very hard work over a sustained period of time. It also requires significant financial resources. And so we're lucky that we are supported by a good number of donors and foundations and granting organizations. But we do need our public to support us by purchasing tickets, making donations themselves. We turn that money into beautiful music. It's a process that is virtuous and exciting, and we hope that people will join us in presenting this kind of music.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to be able to get the word out to know exactly what's going on here, and to have a good time, to be able to relax, and to be able to kind of be one with the music. Now, the Psalms of David is actually written in 6 movements, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
So what does that mean in particular with the movements?
Well, Bob has chosen individual psalms to choose to present, and he just chose the ones that he wanted to work with, and I think our audience will be familiar with at least some of them. And if not, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to know them to enjoy the music. There's a wide array of emotion in this music, and Bob very consciously chose to have a variety there, and so it means there's a progression in the piece from the beginning to the end. The end is a very much so joyful and triumphant ending, and it's really well conceived in that respect.
Well, I think the very interesting thing about when you listen to beautiful pieces like this is there's always there really is always a story that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain flow, and each flow might be different, but you can feel the emotion in the sound waves,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
the way that the tunes are, and how the strings might be heavier in one particular section, and then kind of die down, and then another form of music comes on. So that's kind of a way too that I always like to sometimes even just like close my eyes and listen to it as well, to kind of picture a story, even if it's just bright lights. I mean, that's the thing too, is you can even picture these bright, colorful lights flowing around to tell their own story too. So that's the beautiful thing about music, that for people who are very in tune and artistic, is they're like, yeah, there's a story to this.
Oh, totally.
And
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. It's definitely a beautiful art form that definitely does not go out of style, for sure.
Right.
So
And I hope it never will, and it probably won't ever go out of style. The human voice is the first musical instrument that we, as a species, probably had, and it's so foundational, integral to who we are as human beings, to be able to sing. And that's another thing. If your listeners are interested in singing, they should reach out to us, because we want to facilitate people to use their God-given gift of a voice and to bring that to other people.
absolutely. So folks, if you want to check out more information, and I'll pull it up on the screen here too, as well, you can find it at eccartscenter.org/tickets for information on the Psalms of David. Now, they are having here for adults it's $31, and then seniors and students it's $26. So that's very nice. The Psalms provide a wealth of poetry and emotion for this exceptional work. It was premiered by the chorale in 1985. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So you get that piece of history there, and it being represented as well too. I also have to ask here as well, with the growth of technology and how music is at everyone's fingertips, people can listen to music anywhere. How do you try to I mean, of course, we know how to, of course, stay relevant when it comes to music, but for those who maybe aren't, how would you encourage them to actually come and sit down and listen to a musical event like this?
Matt, that is a great question, actually, because this is something I think about a lot. And I think the fact that, we can subscribe to Apple Music or Spotify or whatever is out there, and like you said, have music at our fingertips, that is a curse and a blessing. It's a blessing in that there's so much music available to us. It's a curse in that it makes us feel like we can have it whenever we want, and with very minimal effort to get it. Whereas just 100 years ago or more, just a little bit more than that, when pre-electricity, if people wanted to listen to music, they had to either do it themselves or be in the same room with another person that is doing it. And so I think we've lost something of that aspect of it. But not when you show up. When you show up at a live performance, all of that immediately comes rushing back on you as an audience member, this feeling of, wow, this is happening right here. These people are doing this in the moment. And I think there's an element of connection in live performance that people make. It's a symbiotic relationship between the audience and the performer. And you do not have that symbiotic relationship when you're listening through your earbuds to something. And also, there's an element of risk in live performance, that there's this aspect that something could go wrong, or something could go incredibly well beyond your wildest imagination. So I am really drawn to that aspect of live music.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you want to be able to experience it in person. You want to be able to feel the music, because you can feel it. You can feel the vibrations as well too, that you can't feel when you're listening through the
Absolutely
headphones.
true. Yeah.
Now, I can't remember if in particular, did you have any performances during COVID?
Oh yes, we we did not have live performances, but we were one of the few choruses actually in the country who figured out how we could still continue to meet together to rehearse in a very safe way. We were lucky to have been able to partner with Elgin Community College in making that happen. And what we did then is we made we performed live, like made live recordings. I should say, live video recordings, where we're actually out there singing, cameras, microphones on us, and then we released those videos to the public online.
I know that's what the Youth Symphony Orchestra did when I worked there, because I had started in, it was January of 2020.
Okay.
They had the concert in March.
Quite a time to start that.
Yeah. And then there were, we had started to hear some things, and we're like, oh, is this, how's this going to go? We made it work, though. We made it work.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, too, that you were able to make it work as well.
Right, and we are so much stronger as an organization than we were before because of our persistence in making this happen. We believed very strongly that people needed to be singing, we needed to have that connection with each other, and I'm so glad that we made it through that.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely feel, and I see it and I feel it with a lot of places in general. After coming out of that too. I wanted to talk a little bit about here too, about if you want to kind of describe a little bit about your approach to rehearsals. How do you kind of balance the artistic goals with the practical aspects of preparing a large group?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think those things go hand in hand. When we come together to rehearse, most of the singers will not have seen this music before. And so we start learning right from the get-go. We really focus on the basic things, getting the notes and rhythms right, the text, the pronunciation, all of those things. It's a technical aspect of the music making. And I believe, though, for music to for us to emote through the music, those technical things have to be there. And so we really strive to get things really just right. And then also the beauty of the tone. We practice singing with a tone that, a different sort of tone that could, like a legato singing or marked music. So smooth or disconnected tones, or just the vocal quality, the sound. We work on that. And all of those things really lead to being able to communicate the meaning of the music and the meaning of the text through our sound. And so it's a process where we get closer and closer and closer to the final goal, where we're able to sort of let go of all of the technical training that we've had. We let go of it in our minds, but it is still the foundation for what we're doing, and we're free. It's liberating to finally get to the concert and sing this glorious music. So we do spend a lot of time. Sometimes we divide into what we call sectional rehearsals, where maybe the sopranos and altos will rehearse together simultaneously while the tenors and basses are rehearsing in another room. And our people are so into this process because it's a beautiful, wonderful process. It's and they know that it gets us to the finished product.
It's a way of being able to compartmentalize and then bring them all together and see how the finished product is, and then also tweak things here and there and work on things together as a group in the final to then perform that final piece. Do you feel like when it comes to now do you usually have just one performance? Or do you have a couple?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For our performances, it's usually one. When we perform with the Elgin Symphony on their season, it's 2, sometimes 3 performances.
Okay. So when it comes to doing multiple performances, do you notice I'm just curious about this because I was also in theater as well. Do you notice that there tends to be for that final performance that there's even more um, uh, uh, almost like it's stronger than before in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Is that kind of something that
I
you
think
notice?
oh, definitely. I think it just comes down to something as simple as the more you do it, the better you get at
Hmm.
it. But I have to say, with some pride, and forgive my pridefulness, we achieve in our first performance that same level of last performance.
That's
We
awesome.
are accustomed to having to work that way, and people give their all in our
Hmm.
performances. So there's no holding back, and I love that. You know,
That's
it's
good.
a really exciting moment.
That's good. That's good to have that.
Yeah.
When you have that there, that is, again, that is definitely something to be proud of for
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
Because you don't want it to kind of feel like, well, we're just going to wait and do, at the last performance, then just give it all there. It's like, no, you give it your all
Yeah.
the time. That's
I've
great.
also seen the other way that a second or third or fourth performance, whatever the final one is, might be a little complacent. I've seen
Hmm.
that with some groups. There's so much energy that goes into the first performance that I usually find that the most electric, the most
Hmm.
riveting performance anyway. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
And I'm sure also when you see the audience there too, you can feel them as well. Even if they're just, sitting still and observing with all of their senses, you can feel it. You can
Yeah.
feel the
Oh,
emotion
we
too.
absolutely
Yeah.
do. And we so rely on that from our audience. It is,
Hmm.
we feel ourselves part of this same organism, the
Hmm.
chorus, the orchestra, and the audience. It's just not the same when they are not there.
Hmm.
And we need that relationship. We feed off the energy that we get from the audience. They feed off of our energy. And again, it's one of those other virtuous cycles of people really coming together, experiencing something together in the same room at the same time. And you can say, I was there when the Elgin Master Chorale did the
Hmm.
Psalms of David. So I love that aspect. We need the audience. They are part of who we are also.
Yeah, absolutely. So true. And I think it's also great too to shout out to the Elgin Community College for allowing you to use the space,
Hmm.
as well as, of course, the symphony orchestra and the youth symphony orchestra as well too. And Elgin Children's Chorus. I was in the Elgin Children's Chorus for a couple of years in elementary
Oh,
school,
good.
and I
Yeah.
absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
With
Yeah.
the conductors that I had too were just absolutely phenomenal and wonderful.
And the
Um,
Elgin Master Chorale took over the operations of the Elgin Youth Choir,
okay.
Elgin Children's Chorus, and now they exist under our umbrella. So if there are any kids out there who want to sing, and I think every kid has the right to sing and they
Hmm.
should come, they should contact us about that also because it's very affordable, high-level education, and a beautiful community.
Hmm.
So we have that going for us also, and I'm really proud of our work there.
That is awesome. Now, of course, you collaborate with other musicians. Do you also collaborate with other conductors as well, too?
Oh yes, yeah.
Artists? And,
The maestro for the Elgin Symphony. When we work with them on their program, we sing for them, and the chorus always loves that. I love that when it's always good for an ensemble to be in front of different conductors,
mhm.
and just the exciting ideas that they might bring to the music. Bob Hanson himself was an incredible partner all those years when he was music director of the Elgin Symphony. It makes us better.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Now, I have to ask you here, too, what got you interested in music? Were you always interested in music growing up?
Oh, yeah. Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
My mother was a great pianist at a very young age. She went to Augustana College when she was 12 years old for the piano, and I inherited some, not all, of her skills,
Mhm.
and she inculcated this love of music for me. I started piano when I was 4. I'm not a very good pianist, but I had a really, really very positive early exposure. And of course, she would buy me LPs and then later tapes and CDs and things and expose me to a lot of music. And my dad, too. My dad wasn't a musician, but he loved music. And my whole family is musical. I'm the only professional musician in the family, but everyone is musical. And that's another thing, is that people can be very musical, really gifted, involved in music. You don't have to be a pro, though. You can still participate and enjoy music.
Absolutely. Now, of course, this is going to be coming up here. The dates will be, it'll be at 3:30. So it's at 3:30. That'll be on Sunday, October 27th. It's going to be at the ECC, Elgin Community College at the Arts Center. Again, folks, if you want to check out more information, you can visit the website eccartscenter.org, or also feel free to check out for the Elgin Master Chorale. Check out information on their website. Elgin Symphony Orchestra is celebrating 75 years. Is very cool too. So that information is posted on to there. What I wanted to do, because we still have a couple minutes left here, is there was a couple other questions that I had here. Now, when it comes to the performances for the future, do you have any other special future plans that are currently in the works?
Yes, actually, we one of our plans, and I can't go into too much detail right now, but we're looking at a 5-year or so plan of presenting a new concert series for us, and that is American music. And we're going to be doing one of those programs in June this year, and actually collaborating with the Elgin Youth Symphony on that. We're really looking forward to that. This is a new initiative, and everyone's really excited about it. So we're doing that. We're also, it is one of our goals to regularly present music by underrepresented composers. And we are also concerned about the climate crisis, and there is more and more music that is being composed to try to address this and get people to provide a little bit more information about what the issues are and how people can get involved. And there's music being written with that in mind, and we'll be performing that as well.
That is awesome. Yes, I do have it on the screen here too, the elginmasterchorale.org website. So, of course, we see how everyone gets so dressed up as well. I also see it some of the other performances that you have, where you have collaboration with some dancers as well too, which is awesome.
We do an educational concert every year where we bus in students from the district, and we usually have around 600 students there, and we perform a concert for them. And that's that photo that you saw on the website there were some dancers who are collaborating with us on
Very nice. That is beautiful. Very, very cool. So if you want to check out more information, it's elginmasterchorale.org. That's their website to go to. You can check out, of course, pictures, how to join as well. So there's a link to that as well for new member auditions for spring of 2025. That'll be coming up on January. Oh, wait, that already did happen. January 14, 2024. Or is it for 2025? I believe it is.
The what in 2025?
New member auditions for spring of 2025.
We do we will do new member auditions again in January.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we have about a minute left here, so I do want to ask one more question here. For those who have never been to a concert like this before, what do you hope that they can get out of an experience like this?
I think it will awaken their love for music. I think they will see a massive amount of cooperation that is up on stage there. Everyone needs to be dialed in to the same goal. And when you witness something like that, it is profoundly moving. And also people should feel, you do not have to dress up for these concerts. Sometimes I've been to the Chicago Symphony and I see some young people wearing a tux and a gown, and it's like, you didn't have to. It's cute and it's nice, but you don't have to do that. You can just come in your normal clothes. You're going to have a good experience. You're going to be welcomed. You're going to feel like you belong there, and you do belong there. It's an easygoing atmosphere, but at the same time, really charged with great music making and emotion and all of those wonderful things like that. We are here for everyone.
There you go. Thank you, Andrew, again for joining us today of Elgin Master Chorale. Check out more information on their website. That's elginmasterchorale.com. This does wrap it up here for Out to Lunch with WRMN. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah.
Handing out food and drinks from an ice cream truck is off limits.